Hey friends, today I'm creating a Patriotic tiered tray. I love tiered trays. I love being able to switch them out for the holidays. And I found some fun little items I'm going to put on there, like those cute little gnomes in these houses and the wood stars. All of those I found in the bullseye section. So I'm going to get started by painting a couple of my stars and one of the houses. And also you'll notice in this project I'm going to use several transfers. I'm basically going to be shopping my transfers that I already have. Some are retired, some are not. And I'm just kind of grabbing what I have to create this project. So with this little house, I'm going to sand it first because it does have a pattern on it. It just helps the paint adhere better to it. The other house that has the white star, I'm just going to leave that as is, and you'll see in a minute I'm going to put a transfer over there. Now this one is actually a Christmas transfer, but I love that little, it has family on the bottom. So I grabbed cadet chalk paste and I'm just going to chalk that one word from that transfer and boom, done. Quick and easy, right? So I'm making sure that the rest of my pieces that I painted are dry before I continue on. So here's another one where I found these cute little stars in another Christmas transfer, and I will link or list all of the transfers that I used. Like I said, some of them are retired, some are not. And I'm just going to keep continuing with this transfer. I didn't wash it in between. I just was careful about where I placed it. And a few of the stars didn't totally come out perfect because I reused it so many times. So I'm just going to go back with a paintbrush and a little bit of my blue paint after the chalk paste was dry, of course, and touched it up. And here again, here is another transfer. This is a background transfer that we used to have. I didn't have a striped transfer that I really wanted to use on one of the stars, so I figured this one would do. Like I said, shop your transfers. You can use your transfers over and over again and use what you have, right? So I thought that turned out super cute. And then for this blue house, I'm actually pulling out the Farmhouse, oh, I can't remember, Farmhouse Tile, I believe is what this transfer is called. And this one is currently available. And I'm just kind of trying to line it up so that the squares are straight with the lines on the house. And I'm just going to chalk that in bright white, and I love how the white turns out against that blue paint. You'll see here in just a minute. And look at that. I love how that turned out. Looks so cute. So once the chalk paste is dry, I'm going to tie some twine and add some beads on here because of course I can't just leave it plain as is. So you'll see here in a minute I'm going to grab some twine and a red and a white bead, and I'm just going to tie that around. Originally I was going to have a white and red bead hanging from each string, but then that ended up being a bit much, so I just ended up doing one. I did tie a knot on the end of the twine, but I also did add a bit of glue to keep that on there. So for that white star, I found a star again in my stash. This is from a chore chart that we had several years ago, but this star fit perfectly right in the center of that white wood star. Look at that, how cute is that? And that's it, that's all I'm going to do with that. So now I am actually going to create a couple of bandanas to go on the tiered tray. So I grabbed some fabric, I ironed it. You want to make sure that you don't have any creases in your fabric. I grabbed our ink mat, of course, it helps keep the fabric from moving along, and I love this fabric or this bandana chalk transfer. So because this is fabric, of course, I am using the chalk ink, and just like with the paste, I'm going to spread it all on the transfer, making sure I get all of the silk screen and scraping off all of the excess. sometimes with these transfers you need more than 2 hands with these big transfers. You'll see my daughter kind of helped in there to hold the side of the fabric down so I could pull up the transfer. These are big transfers, so just keep that in mind that you might need an additional set of hands. There's her little finger again, holding the corner down for me. And just a little side tip, sometimes it also helps to wash your bigger transfers in your shower. I've done that I've washed them in a tub, in a shower, somewhere where I have a lot of room to spray it off. But back to the project. Once the fabric is dry, once the ink is dry, I'm going to use a piece of parchment paper and heat set both sides of the fabric. You can either use an iron or I have a heat press. Now see how that ink kind of came through the fabric a little bit? That's one of the reasons why it's so helpful to use an ink mat, because you don't have to worry about ruining your surface underneath when you have the ink mat. And it also helps keep your fabric from moving. So once I heat set all that, I have my 2 little bandanas. They're so cute. So now comes the fun part. I get to start setting up my tiered tray, and you'll see I kind of move things around a little bit here and there. I added a little bit of greenery, also found some white flowers to kind of add in there. I love those cute little gnomes, they're so cute. And then I also found a fun set of red, white, and blue star battery operated LED lights. So I ended up putting those all around my tiered tray. And I'll probably add a thing or two to the tray as we get closer to 4th of July, but I thought this looks so cute. I had this out for Memorial Day weekend, and it will definitely stay up through 4th of July. So I hope you like this video. Let me know what you think.